Serving water isn't as limited to us meteorologists. It's also an issue that is being addressed to business sector as well, Felicia.
Yeah, that's right, Paul. As they explore ways to implement a sustainable water infrastructure, we got to talk about it. Joining me now is Aaron Tartakovsky, the co-founder and CEO of Epic Cleantec, one company up to the task of taking the waste out of wastewater. Aaron, thanks so much for being with us. I want to start with talking about reducing usage and recycling water. It's not a new idea, but it's now more of a concern in commercial real estate. Why is that?
I think that the drought has definitely accelerated a lot of the conversations we've already been happening, but the bottom line is that buildings worldwide use about 14% of all potable water. Very few recycle it, so we think that there's an incredible opportunity for buildings and cities to really lead the way in terms of ushering in what we like to call a water reuse revolution.
So explain how your system works to recover wastewater and provide those other benefits, including soil amendments.
Yeah, no, happy to. So, traditionally when it comes to water, we approach it with a use it one time and then get rid of it approach. And we think that water can be reused many times. We can treat it like other things that we recycle. So we go into big buildings, we take all the wastewater that you would normally send into the sewer, and then we actually produce three outputs. One is recycled water that we can put back into the building for non-drinking uses. Think toilet flushing, irrigation, cooling towers, soil amendments, as you mentioned, taking all those organics and actually turning those into amazing soil blends that we can then use in and around cities. And then energy. So all the heat that we put into water for laundry, dishwashers, we can actually recapture that and reuse it in the building, just really showing people that there really is no waste in wastewater.
So maybe this is common knowledge, maybe I just don't know. What is a soil amendment?
A soil amendment is something that actually enriches the soil. So it's full of carbon, all these organic matter, it's full of nutrients. Basically, we add it back into the soil and sort of supercharge it. It's almost like a multivitamin for the soil.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Okay, so how did the Urban Water Challenge help you take your initiative system to the next level?
Yeah, so the Urban Water Challenge is a program with Imagine H2O, the leading water accelerator in the world, as well as 11th Hour Racing. And what they did was they were looking at coastal cities like here in San Francisco, where I am, and looking at all the challenges we have of aging infrastructure, of urban population growth, of drought, and the fact that we are dealing with the fact that some cities are potentially going to be underwater in a few decades. So it's looking at those types of applications and seeing how do we deploy technologies like Epic Cleantec to ensure that these cities will be livable, not just 1 or 2 years down the line, but 20 years from now.
And of course, adding those advanced recycling systems to the new buildings is one thing as we look forward, but how feasible is it to add those systems to, say, the existing structures that we have?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So the answer is it is feasible. It's a little bit tougher because we obviously have to have special pipes, purple pipes that we need by law to recycle reclaimed water is what we call it. But there are cases where we can do retrofits where if they have a big irrigation demand or if they have really large cooling needs for their cooling towers. So retrofits are definitely possible.
And really quickly, Aaron, how can people find out more about this if they want to look a little bit more into this technology?
Well, you can come to our website, epiccleantec.com. You can look up Imagine H2O. That's our leading water accelerator. And of course, you can Google Epic Cleantec and you'll find all sorts of fun stuff about us.
Yeah, that's really great stuff there. Aaron Tartakovsky, thanks so much for being with us this morning, co-founder and CEO of Epic Cleantec. Every step in the right direction makes a difference.